So last week we started talking about influencers, and we said that influencers aren't necessarily bad or good. Oftentimes in our generation, in our context, we think of influencers being social media influencers, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and there's plenty of influencers all over the world, some of them good, some of them not so good, but I actually read an article that says that 8 times out of 9 that an influencer gives advice, that it's generally bad advice. So last week we started talking about influence and the ways that we can influence the world around us and how it is that we use our influence wisely. Now, when it comes to life's decisions, it's important to consider whose advice we are allowing to influence us and who we spread our influence to. And so when there's a big question, a decision, a challenge, there's one thing that we need from the people that influence us, and it's this: it's wisdom. Wisdom is actively chasing good rather than chasing evil. Oftentimes we think of wisdom as being knowledge or understanding what to do with knowledge, but you can understand what to do with knowledge, but it's the actual application of choosing good rather than evil that makes us wise. So think about this. Who are some of the wisest people you know, and what makes them wise? It can oftentimes be a very difficult term to define, but we know when people are wise, and we know when those are people that we should listen to. Check this out in Proverbs chapter 4, starting in verse 1. Listen, my sons, to a father's instruction. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you sound learning, so do not forsake my teaching. For I too was a son to my father, still tender and cherished by my mother. Then he taught me. He said to me, take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget my words or turn away from them. Do not forsake wisdom. She being wisdom, will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Cherish her, and she will exalt you. Embrace her, and she will honor you. She will give you a garland to grace your head and present you with a glorious crown. So obviously, the best way to gain wisdom is to listen to people that are wise. But you also have wisdom and can help others gain wisdom. If we define wisdom as chasing good rather than evil, but let's be honest for a minute, life is often more complicated than that. And very rarely do our decisions look as simple as something that is clearly good or clearly evil. We often think that wisdom is tied to age. That's not necessarily true. You can be young and still pursue wisdom. And that's why the big point for today is this: if you want to influence others, start by pursuing wisdom. To be a good influencer, you have to chase good, not evil. Life is complicated. Look, no matter how much you gain, no matter how much knowledge you have, no matter how wise you think you are, it's a never-ending journey of chasing good and getting closer to God. So as you pursue wisdom, as you know God better, God being the source of wisdom means that you get wiser the closer you are to God, and the closer you are to God, the better you can use your influence to help those around you. We'll see you next week.